All right, we are ready to do this thing. So, Coach Matt, what's up everyone? This is episode 2 of How Training Saved My Life. I mentioned, so I'm doing these videos, okay? Before I even jump in, I'm doing these videos because I want to talk about these things. I think these are really good things to talk about. And, you know, I keep telling myself, like, you know, when the perfect time comes or whenever I feel a certain way or whatever. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta rip off the Band-Aid, right? Sometimes you just gotta do it. And that's what I want to do with all these videos. I just want to rip the Band-Aid off. I just want to get to it. I just want to do my thing. I just want to express my feelings, these emotions, and help somebody else out too. You know, if you're dealing with these things as well, or if you have dealt with some of the similar things that I've gone through, or you know, you have a good relationship with training and fitness, and maybe this has helped you save your life, or maybe, you know, certain things have just helped you inside of your workouts, and that people don't understand, right? People think that this is just training and we're just lifting weights and we're just a bunch of meatheads, juice heads, or freaking protein addicts, or whatever the case may be, you know, but there's more to it than that. You know, there's so much stuff that's going on in our head whenever you're working out. There's so much emotional release that's happening. There's so much natural drug hormones that are getting pushed throughout your system, you know? And this is a place where there's no judgment, right? Especially when it comes down to yourself. And don't get me wrong, yes, you're probably judging yourself because you want to change your body, your physique, and lose weight and do this and that, but what I mean is people are gonna let you down in life, right? People are gonna talk about you behind your back. This is what it happens, right? This is what life is. You're gonna have people who are your day ones, ride or dies. You're gonna have people who seem like that, but then they let you go, or whatever the case may be. But in the gym here, these things don't let you down. No, they don't. And they're honest, 100% honest, truthful. If you can't get that 315 on back squat, it's not the bar's fault, it's no one's fault. It just means that you gotta work a little bit harder. And it might not even be your fault. If you haven't been working hard enough to get to that 315 on back squat, then that's on you. You need to hurry up and, you know, train that way. But if you tried it, you attempted, you're like, you know what, I feel good today, let's just go for it, and you don't get it, that means this is telling you, hey, go to work, do your thing, put your head down, go full force, come back again, hit this 315 because I know you will. And that's how simple this is, right? That's how beautiful this stuff is. So today I want to talk to you about my abandonment problems that I've dealt with since I was a little kid. And it all starts with my real dad, all right? I talked about this a little bit in the first episode, and I want to talk about this next because this is the part of the most hurtful part, or the most pain that I deal with on a regular basis. So it started when I was a little kid. My real dad left me, or has been out of the picture since I was 5 or 6 years old, right? I got faint, very small memories of him. And for me, every son needs a father figure, right? Every son needs that father role model. And I'm not saying be super strict on your kid, or, you know, military status, freaking, you're in bed at 9 o'clock, this and that, and just strict. No, that's not what I mean. I mean that this young man needs a male model, role model, leader to guide this young man to emotionally understand himself, to emotionally understand his purpose, to be there and break down and say, you know what, when I was a kid, this is what I dealt with. These are things that I've been. To hold me when I need to cry, to hold me when I'm happy, to be there for me, right? On every sort of level, not just physical, not just emotional, not just spiritual, every single level. And I know that is the hardship and the grind of being a dad, because I'm a dad myself, and I want to be there for my son all the time. Just the other day, I'm doing work on the computer, and my little son comes, Damien. He's going to be 16 months, and this is February of 2022. So if you're watching this video later, this is a time frame. But February, right, this month, he turned 16 months, and he comes into my room, and I'm on the computer, and you know, I'm in the zone, I'm doing my thing, but he comes and he's pulling on my leg, right? He's like, hey, Dad, you know. And in the moment, I'm like, dude, I need to get this project done. I need to finish what I'm doing here. But then in my head, I'm thinking to myself, and I've been doing this a lot lately, I think to myself, you know, what's more important here? My son is gonna grow up and he's gonna have his own wife, he's gonna have his own partner, he's gonna have his own people he cares for, he's gonna have his own kids, he's gonna have his own grandkids, and he's in this moment right now, he's learning something about me and what I'm doing, and he knows that I got something to do, so he's going to remember that no matter what, my dad was always there. No matter how busy he was, my dad was there. No matter if my dad is doing something, my dad is there, and he's gonna be there for me, to hold me, to hug me, to just laugh with me, just to sit down in his room and watch TV, or be there with his toys and play with him with his toys, and he's gonna know that dad's always gonna be there for him. I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have that part that I would talk to my friends and they had that. I didn't have that growing up, right? I didn't have that strong father figure. And I don't know what it does to a kid mentally. I don't know what it does to a kid psychologically, or what it does to their mindset, or what it does to their freaking who they are, or how they act, or whatever. All I know is my experience, and my experience is this. It's hard for me to let people in my life because I'm always afraid that they're gonna leave me for some sort of reason. And I mentioned this in the first video. I always felt there was something wrong with me. I always felt that for some reason I'm the one getting punished for something. Something is wrong with who I am, and that's the reason why people leave me. That's the reason why my own biological father has not been a part of my life this whole time. How can you let a kid, your own kid, be out there in the world doing his thing without any sort of guidance or support or love at all from his own dad? That is what frustrates me, and that's what, no matter how angry or mad I could get at that whole situation, all I think about is what's wrong with me because of this. So then my mom meets somebody else, right? And this guy becomes my stepdad. And he did the best he could, all right? I know people have problems of their own. They grew up in their own sort of household. They got their own issues. I understand that, okay? And it's obviously no one's responsibility to take care of me besides my own biological family, right? And anybody else who wants to take that I guess that description and, you know, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be your stepfather and that's it. Now I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it, right? And I get it. People have their own issues or whatever the case may be, but still, I didn't have that connection that I needed from a dad, right? Because I don't have my real dad. So I'm always feeling like an outsider, okay? So a lot of things begin to happen as I'm growing up and going to, you know, elementary school, junior high, high school. My grandma has always been a part of my life since I was a little kid. My mom was always working, you know, this and that. So if my mom was working, my grandma was taking care of me. And like I said, I have faint memories of my real dad taking care of me too, like a little bit here and there, but I have more memories, obviously, with my grandma and my mom. So growing up, my grandma's always there, my mom's always there, and then this guy comes into our life, right? Which is cool. You know, he was a cool dude. He could do backflips and shit. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, that's cool, okay? So then years passed by. My grandma was always with us. She kind of always lived with us since I was like, you know, a little kid, like basically for a long time. So I built a very, very, very strong connection with my grandmother. Basically like my mom. Like, they're both my mom. My mom was my mom. My grandma was my mom. And there was a lot of things going on in the house as I began to age and grow, and you go into junior high and, you know, stuff like that. And I don't want to get into too much detail, but my grandma lived with us all the way till I was through high school, okay? And, you know, there was just a lot of stuff that was going on within my parents' marriage, as in my mom and my stepdad, and that kind of like wrinkle affected or like raindropped to me and my two sisters. And, you know, there's just a lot of stuff going on in my head as I'm trying to live life and go through this thing called life. I'm trying to figure out my own stuff, right? So time goes by, the household just gets more hectic, and then boom, right? My grandma gets diagnosed with cancer when I'm in high school. I believe it was my senior year of high school. So here we go again, right? And in my stupid head of mine, when I'm that age, I'm thinking again to myself, okay, and I'm mad at this point. And I don't understand why I believe in God, okay? I believe in a higher power. I don't understand why life wanted to take my grandma away from me. And from what happened to me as a kid and the abandonment issues I deal with, as my grandma is passing away or she gets pancreatic cancer, and she has hospice at home. So they come and they, check on her, they give her morphine and all this other crap, right? My grandma was a very active, very happy, very energetic person. And she would always do things with me. And then now all of a sudden she can't even walk to the bathroom by herself. My grandma went from, enjoying food and cooking food for us to only eating ice chips, right? She goes from this very, energetic, happy person to this skin and bones because she wasn't eating. She can't eat. And, every day you see this. And I'm just a teenager, okay? I'm trying to figure out my life. My hormones are through the roof. I'm trying to, this and that. I have a lot of stuff I'm dealing with in my head. And there's just so much going on. And I never asked for help. And I always tell people, ask for help if you need it. I never asked for help. I just let these stupid things in my head just bubble around all by themselves. And my friends didn't know, right? Yes, I had some friends, my very, very, very close friends knew that my grandma was dying at home, and I saw her die every single day, just like the rest of us. And I knew it was hard on my mom. I knew it was hard on my sisters. I knew these things. I wanted to be away from that because I hated to feel that pain. I hated seeing that every single day. I hated it. I hated it. And I was so mad at everything else because my grandma was so into church. But if she was so into church, then why did God take her away from me at such a young age too? This is the most important part of my life. And now she's gone. The day she died, I was getting ready to go to school. And she was taking her last breaths, right? Because it gets really heavy, right? They put her in a morphine coma a day before or 2 days before, so she's not even awake anymore. She's just completely gone, right? So she's basically already passed away, just they're waiting for her body to give up, but not be in pain. So the morning of, she takes her last breath, right? Last breath. And then she dies. Right there. And we all see it. And then I go off to school. And I go off to school, I go through my day, and I don't even remember crying, to be honest with you. My friend picked me up and I said, dude, my grandma just died. Right now, I can't. Man, I just went to school. So as my grandma basically told me, when I pass away, I don't want your life to end. I want you to continue to go on. So I went to school, I did my thing. I didn't go to her funeral. I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't go to any of those things. Because it was very confusing in my head, to the point to when she was diagnosed with cancer, that is when I felt like, I knew she was dying, but I felt like it killed me. Like a piece of me that made me who I am today is now being ripped away from my life, ripped away from who I am. So I was mad, and to me, that is when she died, I felt like. That's when, but it's such a confusing emotion in my head. And then whenever the last chance went away and she took her last breath, I didn't want to go to her funeral or nothing like that because I didn't want to know she was dead. I didn't want to know that she was gone. And that state of thought has now come to my mind 10 years later, that all I did was do what I was taught and abandon the person I love. Because that's what was done to me. And it makes sense. That's all you know, abandonment. Then that's what you do. I'm not saying no one loved me. I'm not saying my mom didn't love me or my stepdad or my sister. I'm not saying that. I had friends that loved me too. People loved me, right? Maybe I didn't see it. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. I was alone, 100%. And these are the pains that I've dealt with since I was little. And now me growing up and being who I am today, I have my own family, I have my son. I want to be more than that. I want to be present. So at any point in time, any chance I get, I want to be as present as possible. That's why I do what I do. This is why I wanted to make this documentary called Training Saved My Life, because it absolutely did, 100% hands down. Whenever my grandma passed, training was my outlet. Whenever I went into the military, I was in the worst mindset of my entire life, thinking things I never thought I would think. Training saved my life. Whenever I get out of the Army and I'm trying to do my business, I'm trying to do this and that, and I'm basically losing all the money I ever saved and then go more in debt, and I have no way to support my household, the woman I love, thinking about the family that I want to create, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Still lost. Still. Training saved my life. I go to the gym, I do this, I clear my mind. And then I have an idea and I have a project and I go for it. And that project, that thing makes this. No matter where I was in my life, no matter what I was doing in my life, I knew that I could train, I would feel better. And I know whenever you move and this and that, these chemicals and endorphins and these things pump through your body and it feels amazing and you're doing fantastic things and you challenge yourself and you push yourself and you build yourself up better and better. Maybe it's because I didn't have the love that I needed and I found it here in the gym. Maybe that's what it was. My abandonment trauma has been something I've dealt with since I can remember. I wish I had a birthday with both my parents. You know, I wish he could tuck me in bed like I tucked my son in that bed. Sometimes I just want to know why, right? Like you go through the world and you go through life trying to find answers to questions that you just don't know. And that's what the confusing part was. And that's what I want to fix in my life now. And training has been a huge outlet and a huge thing that has helped me fix and create the courage to even do things like this. I've put myself down so hard before and even pushed myself down even further with training. And I'm talking about self-abuse. Like I'm talking like I wanted to work out so hard to the point to where I didn't care if I ripped something or tore something or anything like that, right? And I know it sounds dumb. I know most people might not even understand how that feels or whatever. But it's the same thing as doing drugs or doing alcohol or doing something like that. It was anything that is like you can be obsessed with or addicted to can eventually hurt you. And that's what was going on. And I felt it, my body felt it. But I wanted to feel as much pain as possible to just feel alive. Because I feel like with all the abandonment trauma that I have, I never felt alive. When my grandma passed away, a few years passed by, right? I'm talking like a year and a half. Graduate high school, this stuff goes down, and then the household just gets crazy. I'm talking like my parents are freaking arguing, things are going hectic, and everything's just going nuts. You know, I'm basically living there as a roommate because go to college or pay rent. I go to college, I fail college, right? After that, I didn't pay rent, but I did pay for a lot of stuff around the house, things that I needed for sure. My car that I bought by myself, car insurance, phone bill, things that you get around the house, things that I use around the house because I'm just living there. I'm not even treated I felt like a kid that was supposed to be loved. I'm there, you gotta earn living here, man. You gotta earn living here because you're not even my kid. That's how I felt. And then one day I get a text, I'm working, right? I worked all the time, literally all the time. It was work, gym, or hanging out with friends, and eventually I found, the girl I wanted to be with, and I was hanging out with her too all the time. I felt happy. That's why I felt like my grandma was taking me, like, be happy. But I couldn't, because again, something didn't want me to. I get a text one day from my stepdad saying, hey, come home, I want you to grab a few things, because I want to see you for a few days. Now imagine that, dude. I don't even do anything bad, yo. I don't even do drugs or come home drunk. I don't do none of that stuff. Yeah, I might come home late because I want to be home, dude. Look in the fucking mirror, right? Maybe it's you. So then I come home. I'm like, nah, hell nah. I'm going to get all my stuff. I'm going to leave. I'm never going to come back. I don't need help. I don't need nothing. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I just need to get the hell out of here and not come back at all. Period. Done. Cut the ties completely. Emotionally, physically, everything. So I did. Took all my stuff. I left. Went from one friend's house to another friend's house. I had one friend that had to take all her kids' stuff out of her room, and this little kid, baby, right? All the stuff out of her room, or his room, excuse me, and I had to move in there. Lived there for a year, enlisted in the Army, and then that's when my life changed forever. That's when everything happened. And again, right? This man comes into our life, takes the description of being my stepdad, and then he's the one that tells me to leave. My real dad left, stepdad tells me to leave. So now I think, oh, there's something definitely wrong with me. Has to be. Has to be. And yes, we still work on things every day. I work on personal growth all the time. But my abandonment issues will always stick with me in the back of my head. All the time. But what I do here, in my workouts, what I do in my home, with my family, the people I love, what I surround myself with, what I'm doing inside my journal, these videos, they start to fill in that void. They start to do things to me that I wish I'd have had felt before. And that's why I want to do these videos, to help you guys. Abandonment trauma sucks. Because you always think something's fucking wrong with you all the time. And it's not. There's nothing wrong with me. This is going to be a hard one to do. There's something wrong with me. Training saved my life because it created a home. It filled a huge void that I had inside me. You know, there's that darkness, that like emptiness you feel. Just disgusting, right? No warmth. And that's how I felt like when I went to the Army. Like that's when I first got stationed in Alaska, that's how I felt. And I didn't care. I was so cold, like life didn't even mean nothing to me. Like, you know, whatever. So I just did what I did. I did the best I could, and I could have took a different route, but I didn't. I took this route. And it was because of training, right? This is what it is. This has guided me to where I am today. There's no doubt about it. And this is why I want to say these things and explain my story, because training has always been there throughout my journey, has always been there in my worst times. And because I chose it over anything else, it has created a mentality or a mindset or a positivity inside my body that has pushed me here. And that's what I want for you guys. You don't always have to idolize the amazing physique or idolize this athletic performance performer or idolize whoever. I want to look like that. I want to look like that. Do this for you. If you can't find a why, dig deeper. Dig on an emotional, psychological level. Dig on that portion. And you will see, just by working on yourself, breaking yourself down to build it back up, how much it's going to improve you on an emotional level. Thank you, everyone who's been tuning into these videos. Thank you for all the support you all have been sending me. Thank you for all the messages of just everything, all the support and hugs and everything that you've been giving me, guys. It means a lot to me. I'm not doing this for no one's pity or no one's acceptance or nothing like that. I'm doing this to explain my story, to help someone understand there's more to training and choosing training. Why should you do fitness? There's more to it than just losing weight, getting more fit. There's a lot more than just those simple things. I want you to understand that, and that's why I want to make these videos, is to help you guys out too, and also help me. This is a win-win situation. I've never talked about my situation, or I've talked about my stories, and I will go as detailed as I possibly can, as I feel comfortable with, obviously. But these videos have been helping me out. I feel good already. Journal has been helping me out big time. But everybody, thank you for watching. If you have any sort of issues that are similar to mine, I would love to hear about it. Write down in the comments. You can reach out to me. If you guys follow me on Instagram or whatever, you guys can ask me questions there, or whatever you want to do, whatever you feel comfortable with. But have a great rest of your day, whatever time of day or night you're watching this. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 2 with Coach Matt, How Training Saved My Life. I got more episodes coming. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys. Coach Matt. Peace.